Hi. Hey, I'm in the same clothes again. I'm just decided I'm going to do all of these today. And today I'm going to talk about the third symbol that people normally get in Reiki, and that is considered the Reiki distant healing symbol. And that symbol is actually referred to as HonJaZeShoNin. There's various way people will pronounce it, and I'm going to share again a little bit of information about that symbol because, again, it's a talismanic script. And let's see, let me go through my notes here. So it's considered a kanji, which is a Japanese script, and it actually is a talisman again. And I mentioned in Shokarei being a talisman as well. And that, so it's not really, it can't easily be interpreted as to what its meaning is. And what I ended up doing with that is reaching out to a Japanese linguist professor at San Diego State many years ago, back in 2013 actually. I wanted to get her take on Hano Say Sho. And this is what she said. She emailed me back. And she said, kanji characters used for humans are not accurate. So it's hard for me to interpret the true meaning out of it. The only thing I can do is guess the meaning based on the kanji characters your students, it wasn't my students, but I don't know how she got that, but you created, you sent to me, basically, is what she meant. We don't have the word comprised for the first two kanji characters, but I can guess the meaning. The first character means true, and the second character means person. So we can interpret them as the true person. The third character means this. The combination of the fourth and fifth is one word, which represents what she refers to as the eight right path, which in Buddhism is also called the Eightfold path, a fundamental teaching of Buddha leading us to enlightenment. So the eight right path includes one's thoughts, one's words, and one's actions. For example, regarding thought, people should deny one's ego nor one's negative thoughts, such as anger, hatred, jealousy, and always have grateful feelings towards everything. Now, I've already discussed that. Easier said than done, and you can't get to those places. That's a cultural way of thinking of things, actually. But the idea is to identify those negative emotions and honor that's your state of what you need to spiritually work through, not deny them. Okay? So the interpretation in these five characters is being a true human lies on the eight right path. That's my interpretation. And I think she's pretty clear. We have to understand that Makayo Yusui was a lay Buddhist monk. This was his life. He was Buddhist. And I do get frustrated in hearing this kind of Reiki, that kind of Reiki. It's like when you do that, what you're doing is you're denying the source, the origination of Reiki. And it's very important to go back to the source and understand the symbol's true meanings. Don't think lineages are all that important either, because the lineage, the Yusui lineage, really is everybody's lineage who got these three Reiki symbols attuned to them. So the thing about that also is when we start creating these lineages, we are separating the oneness of the world. And enlightenment is discovering that we are truly all one. It's only our egos that separate us from everybody else. And that's why people that are pushing to be called a Reiki master, um, you know, where's that coming from? Is that the ego? Or is that you truly wanting to discover true knowledge? I found those that have done the 3 weekends are really, many times it's more about ego than it is about really wanting to learn how to move energy or work with energy. So let me just talk for a moment about what is that Eightfold Path. And I'm not going to get into the true deep discussions, you know, breaking down each of them. You are more than welcome to do your own research on the Eightfold Path. But just like in any religion, um, the Eightfold Path is a moral compass to live by. And the Christians have the Ten Commandments. Um, you know, everybody's got their own commandments. And this is important to me. And one of the things that I have shared with students is you don't necessarily need to honor the Eightfold Path, but I strongly encourage anybody on their spiritual journey to really sit with some of these concepts from many religions and come up with your own set of morals that you feel you need to live by. And you may not do them perfectly, but you can create your own. And the reason I'm saying this is that, again, it's really about being in a state of oneness with the world. And oftentimes, and I sad to say, in the spiritual community, a lot of people don't live by a moral compass. There's a lot of people that make up stories about who they are, what they're capable of doing, where they got their training, if they really even got training. I think the spiritual community is not so spiritual sometimes, okay? So, but let me get back to the Eightfold Path. Those are my personal opinions, and you can disagree with me. That's okay. I've just been in this community for so long that you see through it, and it's sad. But it does exist in the spiritual world. A lot of unmoral people. In fact, my training was with working with clients with domestic violence, and I would oftentimes say the most dangerous relationships that a person can get into, if you're with a macho guy and they hit, you know you've been hit. But if you are with somebody who is trained as a minister or a psychiatrist or something like that, there can be very dangerous elements to that because they know how to master language and they're presenting that they are of higher wisdom. And that can be a very, that, I'm not saying everybody is like that, but I'm just saying out of all the different characters you can run across in domestic violence, that one's a pretty dangerous one, in my opinion. You have to really pay attention there. But moving on, I'm just going on, forgive me. So the Eightfold Path is having the right view, the right intentions, right speech, right actions, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. These are all the many things that we need to work on within ourselves to achieve. The belief is that when you recognize the three causes of suffering, and then you step on this path of following the Eightfold Path, then you can achieve enlightenment. So how does this equate to the distant healing symbol? Well, I've just talked about being in that state of oneness. And that oneness is when you can raise your frequency into removing ego, removing labels, and reaching out to another who is suffering in compassion. You will, I do anyway, not everyone, but you will experience what is going on with that individual within yourself, and then you are coming together in oneness to clear those energies out in helping that other person through your own body. And that's how that works. So that's really all I have to say on Hano Say Sho. And again, forgive me for my opinions. I really wanted just to keep it on educating you, but it is who I am. And so please don't leave me any negative comments. Just roll them off your shoulders if you were offended by my opinions. Okay? I do hope you got something from this otherwise, and I hope that all of these 3 talks have been powerful for you, and I strongly encourage, if they are, that you do more exploration in working with the 5 elements, and having a deeper understanding of those principles, because this is what Reiki is all about. And this is why when you understand the 5 element theories, you understand also that energy just doesn't blindly go where it goes. The elements move in particular directions when they're in balance, and they move in counter directions when they're out of balance. And once you have that simple principle in mind, there's a lot to learn about the 5 elements, by the way. But once you get that understanding, that's going to be a good guide for how to begin doing energy work on others. Again, from 2006 until COVID, I was actually teaching 2 energy healing programs. The fundamental program went for 12 sessions, and then the advanced program went for 15 sessions. I have decided not to do that at this point of time, but what I am open to doing is helping people who have particular things that they want to learn more about, to kind of tailor trainings for individuals so that they can learn, and they may discover along the way they might want to learn something more along with it. But I think that's the best way for me to handle things at this point. I hesitate to be giving out titles to people or levels to people. I genuinely just want to teach people how to work as an energy healer. So I'm Sarah Burns, and I hope this was truly helpful. Please feel free to reach out to me if there's any questions, or if there's any topic you'd like to learn more about, and I can do a video on that as well. So take care and have a wonderful day, and please take this knowledge that you've given today and do your own discoveries about it and grow your healing practice. Take care. Bye-bye.